In modern photography, a common file format that photos are shot in is called the RAW format, and these essentially are a different way to capture the digital-esque-ness of a photo itself. So nicely enough, Affinity Photo comes with a feature built in that if you were to open a RAW file, it opens in a new persona called Develop. I'll go ahead and open one to show by example. I have two on my desktop from some previous photo shoots. Me in particular is one of them. Waiting on Affinity Photo to do its thing. It should open this in the develop mode, and as you see, it did. So in this mode, I would consider it what you'd expect out of Photoshop if you open the same thing. Here you can more or less tweak the photo to a strong degree before actually really editing it. So later I would probably remove this darker background, and then here I'll actually tweak the lighting and kind of make it more of a natural shot. So we could do everything from lens adjustment to basic settings like exposure, brightness, enhancements like contrast and clarity, saturation, vibrance, even white balance, and shadows and highlights. So this photo, maybe I'll tweak a bit just to kind of show by example. Bring down the light source a bit, maybe ramp up brightness just a touch, get a little more contrast, not by much. And you can adjust the temperature as well if you want it to be a cooler or warmer color. I'm gonna go a little bit warmer. And actually bring back that clarity filter a bit. It's kind of getting noisy. So here you can adjust. By default, it'll sense that there's noise in the image and try to adjust that. You can leave that checked or unchecked. You can adjust those settings to quite a bit degree. Very subtle if you do change these, and if you want to make them even more adjusted, you can go to this extreme effect and you'll see the image start to kind of liquefy. Probably don't want that much in this photo, but just enough. There's before, and then that's after. You can even add noise if you need to bring some back. Obviously that goes without saying what that does, but it's an effect if you need it. Of course, there's always curves. I like to add some in the tones panel. It's kind of a very, very subtle S curve. And you can even make presets here if you like. You can see the amount of detail you can get into when you are editing these. So let's say we're satisfied and we want to continue editing this photo. We can even crop it in this mode. So maybe I'll do that to start, since I'm probably going to remove the background. Maybe bring up just to be waist high. And over here we have other tools you can do as far as overlays. If you wanted to actually put kind of a color overlay on the image, you can even adjust red eye filters if there are any on your image. And the white balance tool is kind of like a gradient tool. If you want to add specific colors in the image, you can just click around and grab those colors to give that effect. We won't do that for this photo. Go back to the start, and let's say you're satisfied. We'll go ahead and hit develop, and it will put you into the actual photo mode once it loads and develops the photo. So there we go, we're back in the photo mode, and we can tweak this photo even further and start to perhaps subtract the background like I said I was going to originally do. Just maybe do a quick selection tool to do that. Actually probably select myself as opposed to the background. Okay, so there we have a slightly edited photo with a very rushed, deleted background selection there. I'd probably go back and refine that mask quite a bit. We just have to go ahead and select this mask and then go to our quick mask tool and then hit refine again, and then just kind of repeat that process, because there's some stuff defringing going on that I'm not wild about, but that's stuff that can be edited off screen, so I don't have to show you that whole thing. But that's just essentially how the develop persona would work, that workflow. So if you do have any raw files and you want to go through and edit them in such a way. So this has been a brief overview of the develop persona. This tool is utilized for opening raw files and editing those prior to actual photo editing in the photo persona. So if you have any raw files that you shoot with your DSLR camera or something of that nature, this is the perfect tool for you.